Defeat, I mean, it was all there. You could accurately gauge just purely based on the tone exactly what emotions the man in the defeat, I mean, it was all there. You could accurately gauge just purely based on the emotions present in his tone exactly. Defeat, I mean, it was all there. You could accurately gauge purely based on his tone exactly what emotions he was experiencing throughout the entire duration of the song. He made that very clear. The next strength was the vulnerability of the person in the song to admit that they needed help. It takes a lot of courage to do that amidst the stigma associated with addiction and things of that nature. A lot of people would rather keep that struggle to themselves, not bring it out in the open because they're afraid to face the wrath of other people, worried about what other people will think of them. That wasn't the case here at all. The final strength was the song In Flames was littered with various examples that helped the listeners understand more clearly what was going through his mind, such as the In Flames part representing his downfall, the is this love or a curse, ice on my heart, it's making it hard to start this spark, representing how much of a toll the addiction had taken on him. Destructive mannerisms take me down the rabbit hole, signaling how much the addiction had asserted control over his life. The only weakness that I can take out of the song In Flames is the lyrics are strictly stuck to the present, meaning they never deviate from the present. I wish that the song had gone into more detail about what happened before, show us what transpired to lead up to that point in the present. We never hear that. I was wondering as I listened to the song what events actually served as a wake-up call to him, what made him reach the breaking point where he realized that this addiction was getting out of hand and he needed help, what inspired that shift in attitude, what was his life like before the addiction, then in the early stages of the addiction, leading up to the present time. Those questions were never answered. I think the song could have really benefited if it had gone into more detail about what happened before the present. Finally, on a scale of 1 to 10, how replayable is In Flames? How often are you going to want to come back to this song? Well, I try to look at this objectively. If you're not that familiar with Ghost Town, if this is the first time you ever listened to Ghost Town instead of being a dedicated listener, well, I would give it 8 out of 10. Not as high as I normally would, because if you're listening to this song for the first time, it might strike you as being too over dramatic. When it comes to the lyrics, it takes some time to get accustomed to Ghost Town's unique style of delivering the lyrics. The lyrics may seem over the top, like, is this really necessary? Once you get used to that, if you can get past that though, then I think the score gets bumped up from an 8 to a 9 or possibly a 10. Like I said, I'm just trying to look at things from a neutral perspective. Once you get used to Ghost Town's theatrical fashion when it comes to their music, then I think you'll be glad you listened to In Flames. So that does it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. I really appreciate the support. I'll see you next time. Until then, rock on.